Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if this is your first time, seeing one of my videos. If this is your first time seeing one of your videos, I do suggest maybe going back and looking at other videos if you would like. I mean, it's all up to you, or just continue watching. My name is Jennifer, and I am not your typical mom. And I'm really not your typical mom. So I was pregnant. I didn't know I was pregnant in 2019, 2020. And I went to the hospital in 2020 in February, thinking I had like an obstructed bowel or something. And once I got checked out of the hospital, I was told that I was 40 plus weeks pregnant, and I just couldn't believe it, and that the baby was no longer alive inside of me. He didn't think. So then obviously, labor and delivery rushed down to me, checked to see with ultrasound, like just a little Doppler to see if there was a heartbeat detected, and they could not find a heartbeat. I then got rushed up to labor and delivery, poked me up to a little bit of Pitocin, which I don't think did anything. But then again, I was very, very, very sick. They don't know how long my baby was not alive inside of me or anything like that. And yeah, just like a backstory. Me and my husband got married in 2015, and we were trying for years to get pregnant, and nothing was happening. And I have a very, very irregular cycle. So, which makes it harder to get pregnant. And obviously that time we obviously got pregnant, but I could go a year without having a period and it wouldn't faze me. And just from, years of trying and not getting a period, I thought I was pregnant. We got told no or saw a negative test. And once I did see a negative test, I obviously would go to the doctor as well, and they would tell me no. But anyways, so I gave birth to my beautiful baby boy. We named him Benjamin, and he was 9 pounds 5 ounces and 22 inches long. He was a big, beautiful baby boy, and oh boy, do I ever miss him. But I'm currently right now pregnant with my rainbow baby, and I am around 20-ish weeks, 21 weeks, almost 22, I should say. And I've just been dealing with a lot. For a while there, I just kind of was struggling mentally, which is why I didn't have videos up for, Christmas and after the new year. And just kind of working on my mental health, and I do have diabetes right now, so I'm trying to work on my diabetes and my health and making sure everything goes okay. And because of what happened last time, my OB wanted me to go to the hospital, which has ultrasounds done there for high-risk pregnancies. And because I'm diabetic, I am obese, considered morbidly obese according to the BMI scale. And obviously with what happened last time, my doctor considers me high risk. So I went there to the hospital and got my anatomy scan done. And this was on January 4th. I went and got my anatomy scan done. And we got, everything looked good so far from what I could tell. But then again, I'm not a doctor. And whatever, we're waiting after the scan's done and waiting for the doctor. The doctor comes in. He asked me a whole bunch of questions about my diabetes and stuff like that. And then the nail in the coffin. He said he doesn't have good news for me. That my baby has caudal regression syndrome. CAUDAL, regression syndrome. And it basically means that my baby's spine didn't fully develop. I'm having a girl, so my baby girl's spine didn't fully develop and didn't fully develop at all. So, she doesn't really have much movement in her legs. But then again, the ultrasound I just went to not long ago, because I had a follow-up appointment in about a week and a bit, or 2 weeks or something like that, to go back to the hospital for another ultrasound and a fetal heart echo as well. And anyways, yeah, the first doctor we saw, which was on the 4th, which broke my heart, not just for that, but also, you know, a month before my son's birthday. You know, this is going to be his 2nd year that he should be here, and he's not. He, you know, obviously didn't survive. He was considered a stillborn. And of course, I'm in the doctor's office crying my eyes out, and my husband's talking to the doctor, and he, you know, he's upset too, obviously, but like, you know, I'm in distraught. I'm not hearing what this doctor's saying. All I heard was the caudal regression syndrome, and no, like, you know, the spine didn't fully form, no movement in the legs that they saw anyways at that moment in time, and she only has 1 kidney. And anyways, so we took the time, and, you know, he gave us, you know, the options of having a D&C right then and there, but I decided not to have a D&C because my baby has a heartbeat, she has brain activity. I'm not going to rip her apart with a D&C. And so we said no to the D&C. So if we were going to terminate the pregnancy, I was going to give birth early, which would have been like a couple weeks or something like that once we decided. And so the doctor, we went home. He gave us time to think about it. I think it was about a week and a bit. I don't really fully remember, to be honest. It's just been such a big it's been such a big blur, and, you know, the days feel all the same. But I just went back to the doctors on first I went to see my doctor on the 10th. And my OB, and talked to him, and he pretty much gave me like the same options, and that this hospital is, you know, this is what they specialize in, you know, these kinds of things, and they would know what's best, and, you know, just to do our own little research, and, you know, whatever. And there's not a lot because it's a very, very, very rare condition. You do see it in women who have diabetes, who don't have controlled blood sugar in the beginning, which mine wasn't. Like, diabetes just came so suddenly. But then there's also lots of women, who didn't have diabetes at all, and their babies ended up having, CRS, caudal regression syndrome. You know, we joined a group. It's a worldwide group. People from all over the world. You know, it's either they have the condition, or it's parents whose babies have the condition, or who are currently pregnant with this condition. And lots of people seem to have amazing lives. You know, not like, I can't say amazing lives, but, you know, they live a happy life. And the first doctor we saw made it seem like there was no chance for a viable life. And I thought I had my mind made up that I was just going to give birth early. I had this in my mind. And then my husband was looking into this condition more and more and more and more. And, you know, eventually finding this Facebook group and stuff like that, and looking into stories and reading more about it, which all the literature really on the internet is doctor talk, because it's a very rare condition. You don't see it that often, and being in Canada, there's not many people, like, there's lots of people in Canada, don't get me wrong, but there's way more people in the United States, right? Like, I think all of Canada, there's like that many people just in California, I do believe. So, I mean, the United States is huge compared to Canada. Like, we're one of the smallest countries in the world, like one of the smaller countries. Not obviously the smallest country, but we are one of the smallest countries in the world. So, you know, other places around the world have seen it more. But anyways, What was I saying? So yeah, so my husband looked into it more. You know, I didn't really want to watch videos, see pictures. I just thought I had this set up in my mind what I was going to do. I was really stubborn about it, but then my husband said, you really should read this. You really should watch this. You really should also join this group as well. You know, there's amazing stories. You know, this woman, her doctor, her OB kept telling her to terminate her pregnancy, and she wouldn't do it. And her baby is doing amazing. I think her baby is now 6 or 7 years old, so not really a baby no more. Her child is 6 years old, and you know, some of them do need amputation to their legs. Some of them are like it's different levels of the condition, and you know, some of them can have, you know, they're able to walk with their legs, but you know, need some support in like their legs and stuff like that. Others need like a walker. You need those like kind of like those arm canes that you can have around your arms, and it kind of almost like a crutch, but not really a crutch. I don't know what they're called. And then some of them are wheelchair bound. Some of them don't need their legs amputated. Some of them need their legs amputated. It really all depends. And you know, what scared me in the beginning was the doctor said, you know, you could end up having more spinal issues, heart problems, brain function, just a whole bunch of other things, like you won't have control of their own bowels. So anything down there, any of the lower extremities, won't have any control over, you know, defecating or urinating. So it would just be all sporadic. But we technically won't know that until baby's born. And as they get a little bit older, how, you know, progressed this condition is, and you know, which form of the condition that they have. Anyways, fast forward to I went to the doctor's. Well, I had my eye appointment on the 11th, and I'm getting new glasses, by the way, so hopefully soon I'll get them in. I just ordered them from Costco, got 2 pairs. But anyways, went on the 12th back to the hospital, and I got the regular ultrasound done. And this time they saw movement in the legs, but they're not 100% too sure if it was just like her body moving and then it moved her legs a bit, or if her legs actually do have some function to them. But they're not going to know that until baby's born. They also only saw her left kidney. She doesn't have a right kidney. And that kidney seems to be doing the job. It's functioning right. It's at the right size, which only having one kidney is not the end of the world. It can happen in regular pregnancies. At the last time, they didn't see movement in one of her arms, but this time there was lots of movement. She was just moving like crazy in there for the ultrasound. But then again, you know, she did say that she does think it's caudal regression syndrome, CRS. There's another name for it as well, and I don't remember it. My husband knows it. It's too hard for me to pronounce, I think. And then, anyways. And then, so we had a little bit more, obviously, way more hope. And even after joining groups and reading up on things and watching videos, I had more hope before we even went back to the hospital. Then we went to the hospital on the 12th, and I had more hope than ever. I felt okay. Got the ultrasound done. You know, it was a different doctor who we saw this time, and she thought that, you know, nothing looked life-threatening, that, you know, she might think that the baby can come home with me the same day I leave the hospital. It just really all depends, you know, on what surgeries are needed right away. I mean, sometimes they need to reconstruct and the anus, because sometimes with this condition, there's no opening for them to be able to defecate. And sometimes also in, you know, the vaginal area, or, you know, depending on what sex your baby is, in that area. So like in, you know, stuff like that. So, we really won't know that until baby's born. So she didn't think anything was life-threatening. She maybe thought, she had really good hopes that this baby could come home with me, but it's not 100%, obviously. And I was going to get an amniocentesis done, which is just a really long, skinny needle that go into my belly. It would go through the sac, and collect some amniotic fluid. And they'll be able to test it that way to see if there's any more conditions or whatever, or defects. And I didn't decide to do that because it can cause early labor, and I was over 20 weeks. So if you're before 20 weeks and getting an amniocentesis done, it can cause miscarriages. So I decided not to get the amnio done because, when we went for the fetal heart echo, her heart looked amazing. It sounds amazing, 160 beats per minute. They saw nothing that, is seriously wrong anyways. They could be missing something small, but that could be, treated or fixed once she's here if it is causing problems. And her brain activity looked great. Obviously, there's no telling if she has cognitive disabilities or anything like that. But so for the most part, so once we heard all that, we knew we just were going to keep this pregnancy going. And I thought my whole mind that I'm trying not to cry. I thought I was just going to get rid of this pregnancy. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I just could not lose another baby. I just couldn't. And then hearing, that they think it's a girl, not like that would have hurt any different than losing Benjamin. But just knowing that I'm going to, I lost my first son, and then thinking I'm going to lose my first daughter. Oh, and then just hearing everything just scared me. And obviously it was so overwhelming and traumatic. But I was happy to hear that her heart was doing amazing. It didn't look like there was anything wrong. Going the second time, they saw more facial details. So there's no cleft lip or palate, I should say, or anything wrong with her nose. That all seemed to look good. But even if it were cleft or anything like that, that can get fixed. It's cosmetic. It can get fixed. That's fine. I don't care about that. I don't care about Down syndrome. I don't care about anything as long as her heart is amazing and there's nothing wrong with her heart. Throw anything at me. It's fine. We will deal with it. I just could not say goodbye to another baby. And it would have crushed me to know that I would have terminated this pregnancy by giving birth early. And just knowing deep down inside that there could be, everything could be fine besides, the caudal regression where, she might not have movement in her legs. This is just also overwhelming, but, wheelchair bound does not mean I'm going to get rid of my baby. Having a disability, it doesn't matter. All that matters, there's no serious condition with her heart. That's all that mattered to me. I didn't care. I do not care what my baby looks like when she gets out. I do not care in the slightest. As long as her heart is amazing, she could have a healthy, happy life, and sure, the caudal regression's there. We can live with that. It's okay. She could still have a full life. Obviously, if she was I don't know. She had a big hole in her heart. That would be something I could not, have my baby live through. The fact that she might not even make it through birth, if that were the case. If she was going to be a complete vegetable for the rest of her life. Maybe that would be different as well. Because, you want your child to have a full life as possible. Oh, guys, thank you for supporting me and being here for me. And, if you're still subscribed to my channel, thank you so much. And I'm sorry there's been nothing. But as you can imagine, things have been really traumatic and hard for me. I had lots to think about. I'm just now finally able to talk about it more without crying too much. And I really, really tried. I'll probably just break down after this video. But yes, so my baby is fine. Her heart is good. It sounds so strong. Just that she doesn't obviously have her full spine intact. Her rest of her spine didn't form. And that's the caudal part. So whatever that part of the back is called, a caudal. I don't know. Technical terms, big doctor terms, I do not know, right? But yeah, like, it was such a heart-wrenching experience to be going through, and I know giving birth will be hard, and I know after birth will be hard too, with lots of challenges, if there does come big, hefty challenges, which I know there still will be challenges regardless. I mean, you're having a baby, even if you don't have a disabled child, with disability, it's challenging no matter what. So, you know, I'm ready for this. We know what to expect. Well, kind of ish in some senses. But we are ready for this. They might induce me early. I might, you know, have a C-section. I do not know yet. Because, you know, her spine issue, we don't want to cause more damage. So, we will have to see, I guess. But I do go for another appointment to make sure baby's growing okay, for the hospital, just for a regular ultrasound, not for a fetal heart echo. Unless there's something wrong in that ultrasound for the heart, then we go back and do a fetal heart echo again. But yeah, it's just been a whirlwind, and so scared, and I was not ready to make videos. It was just so much to take in, especially after losing my son so traumatically. Didn't know I was pregnant, and bam, you're a mom. Oh, sorry, but your baby's dead inside of you. You know, it should have been a happy moment. I was pregnant. It was happy for the fact that my son gave me hope. So much hope. And, you know, it made me realize my health is so important. And especially, you know, even after this as well, you know, if I do have diabetes after this pregnancy, to keep that under control, and my sugars, and, you know, before we get pregnant again, if I do choose to get pregnant again. But that'll also depend on, like, you know, how much we need to, how much care we need to give, our daughter, in regards to, like, you know, obviously there's gonna be lots of care involved, obviously a baby, but, like, you know, as she gets older, depending on, like, you know, the length of care, and when we have to go to the hospital for surgeries, if we have to go here or here for specialists, that will all come into factor as well too, right? Like, we need to be able to have time for another baby. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to let you guys know this pregnancy update. Yeah, it's just been so scary and overwhelming, and lots of crying, spend lots of time in bed sleeping, sleepless nights, since knowing, and then, you know, lots of reading, lots of watching things, joined a support group, for people and that have the condition, and families, you know, that have children with it, and or if they care for a child with this condition. So yeah, that's been really eye-opening too, and could not make, you know, seeing that just made me not want to say goodbye to my baby. And I'm so glad. Me and my husband do not regret our decision. We're ready for this. We obviously not fully ready because we don't know really fully what to expect, but we have some idea on what to expect. And, you know, I'm being watched very, very closely during this pregnancy still, and I continue to be until I deliver. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. That's it for me right now, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video, and hopefully I'll have my new glasses by then. And yeah, sorry for my appearance. I'm tired and I want to take a shower, and obviously you guys know I've been dealing with a lot. obviously, with what I'm just telling you guys. Anyways, gotta take my insulin and eat something. Talk to you guys in the next video. Bye.